It's tea time.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Tea Parties on the Internet. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and it's just absolutely wonderful to see you back here on the Miss Mary Lou channel. You know. Buckle up, my friends. It's time for another episode of
It's Board Games and Brews.
So here we are in November. November reminds me of cozy and sweaters and family and laughter and lots of cups of tea. And I couldn't wait to do another Board Games and Brews episode for you, encompassing all of what November means. And it's just like I'm so excited. But before we get too much into Dixit today, my loves, if you are not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you are seriously missing out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you know when I upload. It's just, we have fun here. As a classy lady, you gotta keep a balance between, class and downright Muppetry, right? I'm pretty much a Muppet human. I'm not mad at that. Yes, my game for this month's Board Games and Brews is Dixit, Mechanics by Jean-Louis Ribiera and Art by Marie Cardot. In this game, for 3 to 6 players, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Dixit is a game that uses beautiful artwork and absolute imagination during gameplay. The combination between empathy and creativity in this game just makes it something really special. To play Dixit, one person starts as the storyteller. All the players have different cards in their hands. All of the oversized cards in this game are completely unique pieces of artwork, so no painting is repeated. The storyteller chooses one card from their hand, and using some kind of word, phrase, song, sound, gesture, really your imagination is the limit, they describe the card that they are going to play without revealing it. Then all of the other players choose a card from their hand that they believe could fit what the storyteller has described. Then the storyteller takes their secret card as well as all the other cards from the players face down, shuffles them, and lays them out in a row, one at a time. While I do this phase of the game, I like to repeat the clue that the storyteller gave over and over again as each card is laid out. Now the guesswork begins. Based on the cards that are laid down, everyone except the storyteller, because they know the answer, of course, chooses which of the cards they think is the storyteller's card. The objective of the guessers is to get the storyteller's card in a sea of others correctly to score the most points. The objective in the same round of everyone else at the table is to fool their fellow players into thinking their card is the storyteller's card. So this adds some layers of complexity, because if everyone easily guesses your card, unfortunately, you as the storyteller get no points and everyone else is rewarded. And if no one guesses your card as the storyteller, you also receive 0 points. Your objective is to get at least one person, but not everybody, and not no one, to guess that your story card is the correct one. So this leads to some pretty creative problem-solving clue-giving here. For instance, if your card shows a boy about to fight a dragon, your clue is probably not going to be dragon, because that would probably give you away. However, you may not wish to give a clue like salami to describe the same card, unless there's some kind of inside joke at the table, like maybe no one would actually guess that clue. So as the storyteller, it's a very delicate, completely wonderful balance to find when giving out your clue. Once all of the players have submitted their guesses on their little square chips, the storyteller reveals the guesses, the points are scored, and your adorable little bunny rabbits hop along the score track, which is a part of the board itself. Another thing I really love about the way that this game is set up is the board itself folds out, and on one side, as a reminder, are all the rules, and on the other side is your little bunny hopping scorekeeping chart, so you can keep score as you play the game. Another clever feature of the board is there are little actual card slots with numbers on them, so when you place the cards out on the table face up, each card is already assigned a number. So it's very clever gameplay. You have everything that you need essentially on the board itself, plus your cards. I really love the whimsical simplicity of the game design itself. The box for this game could be a lot smaller. However, there is room inside for other decks of artwork cards. There are many, many expansions to Dixit. So if you've mayhaps become overly familiar with the cards and people are guessing a little too easily, or if you just want to see the variations in the artwork itself, absolutely pick up an expansion. They're really, really beautiful. I love how integral the unique, stunning artwork is to the game, and how it might seem like a light, creative game, which it absolutely is, but there's certainly no shortage of thought in this game. It's a very thoughtful game. I love this. I've seen it in other games like Balderdash, but again, the use of artwork, and a lot of the art pieces are not straightforward. They are fairly abstract by design. It's a whole other think around way of doing things. And yes, this game is great for children as well. I think sometimes I game with the same people over and over again, and you really get a sense for them, but the way that children give clues in this game, it really forces you, like as an adult human, to put yourself in their shoes and, quite frankly, be surprised and overjoyed and utterly delighted by the creativity at the table from people of all ages. And yes, this is a competitive game. The first little bunny to 30 points wins. However, everybody is involved on every single turn. You can always earn points on every turn, and the gameplay is fun, so that even if you don't win, it's still just a wonderful experience to have together. I love Dixit. I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful game, and as November makes me think of all of that cozy family time with teacups in hand, I couldn't think of a better game to give you this November. And speaking of tea, the wonderful, whimsical, full of flavor, surprising, creative, beautiful blend I have chosen for today is Paris from Harney & Sons Fine Teas. This black tea base is blended with black currant, vanilla, caramel, and bergamot oil. Yes, this is not the first time you have heard about Paris on this channel. Dixit is a game that comes from none other than France. So I thought pairing it with Paris, which is such a cozy tea that even is a really good introduction tea to people who mayhaps are a little younger, who want to try and have tea parties, if you're okay with giving them caffeine, of course, because of the fruity and caramel vanilla loveliness in there. It's complex, yet extremely, extremely pleasing. And can we just talk about how fun of a tea this is? It's just like, it's fun, it's beautiful, it's oh so freaking cozy. I think what really makes Paris a winner of a tea for me is the fact that it has that black currant flavor in it. Sometimes vanilla and caramel teas, especially caramel teas, can be a little overwhelming for me and just too much. However, you have the black currant in there as well as a little sprinkling of bergamot oil to give it that berry, citrusy sort of undertone. So it's a fantastic balance of not being too straightforward, but not being too subtle, much like the gameplay for the storyteller in Dixit. I can absolutely just imagine myself curled up next to a crackling fireplace, Dixit on the table with loved ones, and a cup of Paris just keeping me warm with sweaters and blankets and my kitty cats. Oh, it honestly just sounds like the absolute best time. And also, this tea is freaking delicious. You can absolutely enjoy Paris hot or iced, sweetened or not, and a milk of your choice in there if you would prefer. It's an extremely versatile tea that is, yes, it's the same tea every time technically, but you can enjoy it in so many different ways, and each is just as valid and beautiful as the others. I absolutely love that. It's a lot like the artwork on the cards. I don't have any of the expansions for Dixit. I've played with the same deck for years now, and it just amazes me how the same card, yes, it's the same every time, but you can tell all sorts of different stories while the root of it remains the same. It's beautiful in a game, in a cup. If you haven't played Dixit, oh my goodness gracious, I highly, highly recommend it, especially with a cup of Paris tea. So my wonderful, beautiful tea time fam, have you ever played Dixit or had Paris? What would you have paired Dixit with? I am oh so curious. And if you have not played Dixit, is this something that you would like to try, that you would like to play? I love chatting with you in the comments below. It's so wonderful. It makes me so happy. And of course, if you have any other game suggestions for a Board Games and Brews episode, I am more than happy to hear it. I love hearing what you have to say. You are all so smart. It's utterly delightful. All right, friends, I've had a lovely time tea partying with you today, and last and most important of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next tea party.
It's tea time with Mary.
Come on, everybody, sing along. You know the words. Thanks for watching Tea Time with Mary. I hope to see you real soon. If you want to like, subscribe, and comment, I think that would be cool. Check out my Facebook.com/Tea Time with Mary for all the content that's new, or my Instagram, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm at Miss Mary Lou. So thanks again for joining us, and thanks for being a friend. We'll see you next tea party. The fun never ends. I was waiting to drink tea all morning until I brewed this, and I gotta tell you, it's so worth it.